Okay, wow. Thank you, old reliable. This is tech support. Have you tried turning your computer off and on again? Hi, everyone. How are we doing? Sweet, sweet Christ, that was hard. Why was that so hard? Hi, everyone. Am I coming through clear? Is it like choppy or anything like that? I can adjust some settings on this mic if I need to. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Joe. I go by Cool Runnings here on Twitch. AZ, him pronouns. Welcome to the Friday lift, which is actually the Saturday lift, which is now. Hello, Chris. Hello, Borgs. Hello, Ed. Hello, Para. AJ, thanks for hanging out. One Tree. Hello, hello, hello. T2 is epic. Welcome in. You get caught up. He lives. He's alive. Do you need to call your employee assistance line to cope? Yeah, I've got a fever. Eric, thank you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the resub, buddy. Here, let me update my caption. Let me update my captions to actually have the right microphone. So this is gonna mess up literally everything, but we should be. Yeah. No, not. Hi everyone, PT, hello, Subduder, Eric, thank you so much for the resub. Hey, Muggy, you know what this means? You know what this means? You have to name that Twitch baby. Who's that Twitch baby? Welcome in, folks. How is everyone doing this? How about now? You can hear me now? Sorry, that was the issue. I had it muted on the other scene. Cool. Okay. Ah! Hello, Moon. Mike didn't. You all tried to tell me. You tried to help. You tried so hard to help me. But hello, everyone. Good day. Good morning. Evie, wait. Come here. Come here. Right here. Sit. Good. We'll get you a treats. Gotta get treats for the sweet girl. The sweet girl, the sweetest. I'm enjoying the captions capturing your confusion. There's a lot of like whoop 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 whoop. Okay. Take it. Go on. You should go, girl. Good morning, beautiful people. Bovary, hello. Hello. I hope everyone has had a lovely week. Or at least, if you didn't have a lovely week, I'm glad that it's over for you. Hi. Okay. All right. I think we're good. The only technical issues that could remain are those from my body breaking, because my left side is feeling very tight. You know, it's so funny. Every time I think about selling this microphone, since I don't use it anymore, I think like there's going to be those moments where the other mics just don't work for whatever reason. Cut my Zoom reel, start force feeding it candy to get it stronger. You gotta get ready. You gotta get ready. I'm so behind. I'm prepping for that Charizard raid. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, right. The poison chosen specially.
Poison. Thank you for that poison. Oh, boy. These pancakes this morning. I tell you what. If you want to get good and goofed up before a lift, have yourself some pancakes. I don't want to hear the song right now. Oh. Thank you, Para. Haven't beaten the game and unlocked the higher starred raid. Is that how you unlock higher raids? Do you have to beat the game? Man. Were they booberry? Saw the picture on IG. Which one? Oh, the pancakes. Yes. Yes. I have resorted to going back into putting pictures of my cakes on Instagram. Instagram is now full of cake. Oh. Nice deep squat. One of these days, these sweatpants are gonna rip. It's gonna be bad. Cake farts. I hope I am the only person who remembers cake farts. If that's something that has to, if that has to die with me, that's okay. I will be the keeper of that knowledge, that forbidden arcane information, until the end of time. Oh, all right. Let's twist that spine. Usually not great advice. However, today. Oh. 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 All right. Hamstring warm-ups. Hips. 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 Oh boy. Oh, I'm on fire. I remember Will coming out of the woodwork. You know what I like? Cake farts. Is it too soon for Wellness Minute? Borgs, you can redeem it anytime. I may wait until I get a couple of warm-up sets in to do it. But just don't let me forget, okay? But yeah, never a wrong time to redeem it. The only bad time to redeem it is when you're not going to be able to stick around to do it. Well, thank you, Borgs. That's kind of you. That's kind of you. Yeah, and if you're ever in a spot where it's like, hey, I know it's too early, but I need to leave soon, feel free to communicate that. Feel free to communicate that, and we'll make sure we get you taken care of. All right, let's load up the bar. We get to do deadlifts today. Hey, guess what? Last time you saw me, we were doing deadlifts. You know what we're gonna do today? Deadlifts! Before, you know what? I should have made some sort of joke about the whole, like, I'm playing a zombie game with Paul and Sam later. Playing a zombie game with Paul and Sam later. We're doing deadlifts now. Lift the dead, then raise the dead, then die again, then die one more time, then die a third time. I think the most surprising thing to me right now about 7 Days to Die is that it is an early access game. I thought it's been out for like 2 years, but I could be totally wrong about that. Oh. What's Saturday looking like for everyone right now? Hope everyone's having chill times. Woo! 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 It snowed in. Yeah, we got 1 inch of snow last night. And it's like melting right now. Damn. Got 1 inch of snow. And it came down while I was at the bar. So I didn't even get to watch it. Whew. Made lasagne. Lasagne. Laser nut. Got my Xmas present from me to me. That's a good day. Oh, is that a Christmas present? Hey, Merry Christmas, Ed. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. And to all a good night. Merry Christmas to Ed and Ed only. Everyone else needs to wait. And Merry Christmas to you too. Oh, thank you. Currently at work. It's slow at the moment. But I'm sure it'll pick up soon. Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. If I have a busy week at work next week, I think it's going to break my spirit. I think it's gonna break my spirit if people are actually trying to get things done next week. Everyone needs to understand, like, if you can take time off and you can like go on vacation in the last week before Christmas, like, do it, right? Like, do the thing. And if you can't, don't take that opportunity to like force a bunch of projects to happen before the end of the year. I was probably that guy once. How many inches have already fallen with that 1 inch on top? Ooh, none. So we are like firmly, like, this is the first snow we've gotten in a couple of weeks, honestly. My hair is just not working today. Look at it, it's all fucked up and floofed. I'm sorry. York retail, the busy AF. Yeah, that is the I'm speaking from the office desk job baby perspective. I'm gonna be a whiny crybaby if I have to actually do work next week, while like people in retail are just getting absolutely slammed and getting forced into overtime. But I'll try not to be a big baby about it. I'll try to be a little more mindful, like, truly. And not forget the privilege, right? Like, I know there's still gonna be stuff to do. Whew. Still gonna be stuff to do. Got 5 inches this week or so. 5 inches last week too. So you're sitting on at least 10 inches of snow right now. That's bananas. Miss One Tree, welcome in. Hi. How are you? I work at a shipping center, so also busy AF. And then, like, it doesn't even end after the holidays, or right? Like, you've got all the stuff leading up to Christmas, and then you got Christmas, and then you got Boxing Day, and then after that, you've got all the returns and like additional orders that happen after people spend their gift cards. If anyone ever like believed that retail like calmed down, that is a myth. It's a myth. I'm leaving in 2 hours, need my prescription filled before you can get it ready. Doesn't it feel like Christmas next week? It really doesn't. I forgot to fill out the rest of the routine. Can I do that real quick, friends? I gotta do whoops and pups. Then we got 3 count, pause, bench, and that's gonna be what, 5 by 3 by 195 pounds. And then we'll do front squats. Why am I doing this to myself? 3 by 8 by 185. We're gonna pair those up with some lateral raises, 3 by 12 by 25 pounds. And then we'll do a final double set of goblet squats, 3 by 10 by, no, 3 by 13? Why 13? 3 by 13 by 60. And then some pull-ups. 4x8. Oh my! Tech, hello! How are we doing? Goodness gracious, hello Tech. Welcome in, Raiders. Willkommen. Hi Raiders, my name is Joe. I go by Cool Running Sir on Twitch. I use he, him pronouns. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we lift weights. Tuesdays, Sundays, we play video games. All the time, we're an inclusive community all about getting moving in the ways that work for you. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Some of it's melted. It won't be melting anymore this week, though. Highs in the single digits all week. -2 next Friday. Ugh. Ugh. That's cold. That's cold. Returns plus new gifts, people forgetting stuff at their family place, plus anything people need to ship for work. All that stuff. Grotlick, welcome in. Tech, welcome in. Tech, how was your lift? This is a perfect time. Twice. It was such a good wellness minute that I wanted you to experience it twice, even though you only got to hear it once. You got to read some broken up version of it first. Oh, nice, we did it twice. Hi, Tabs. Hi, Red Arrow. Welcome in. Yeah, sorry about it, Para. I'm sorry about it, friends. Just got back from the gym. Ooh, how was your sesh? Oh, man. That was really funny. I can't, like, you can't laugh at yourself, right? You know? I think the best thing about it is I kept seeing like all of these tweets. Rox, hello. How are you? Happy Saturday. Welcome in. I kept seeing these tweets about like how many streamers at one point or another needed to be told by their chat that they were muted. Oh. Retry before. Retry me before. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Run Club. And I just thought, like, no, like that doesn't really happen to me, you know? I don't forget to turn my sound on. And then I realized that it happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the stinking time. I taught Zumba class this morning, so it's just cardio day for me. Ooh, what was on your playlist? What kind of Zumbos? We're gonna play with Zombos today. We're gonna do some cardio running away from Zombos. Trying to think of how to make an alert that you can't ignore. There's gotta be something. I have COVID and it sucks. No, Rox, I'm sorry. Is this your... Did you make it all the way through without catching any of the variants and it finally got you? I'm sorry, Rox. That's really frustrating. Well, hey, I'm really glad you're here. I'm sorry that you're feeling sick, but I'm really glad that you're here with us today. We're gonna go easy on the caffeine. Use a lot of Latin music in my playlist and some Christmas music, because 'tis the season. 'Tis the season to box their ears. To box their ears with Mariah Carey. I don't want a lot for Christmas underneath the Christmas tree. Use a lot. Oh, sorry. That's a shit for 2.5 years. I caught it last January. Finally got it last January, and thankfully it wasn't like around any sort of time that it was, you know, critical for me to not have it. I was still at my old job, and we were almost entirely remote, so I just stayed at home. But that's still frustrating. I'm glad you're. Are you doing okay for the most part, though, Rox? You cannot avoid Mariah. She comes for you. You should have Fall Out Boys. You'll shoot your eye out to the playlist. Ooh, that's a good shout. Can we deal with one Christmas song today? We can deal with one Christmas song, right? We did have a staff holiday party yesterday. And I actually won an ugly sweater contest, and I was not expecting it at all. Zero expectations that I would do at all good. Hierarch, hi! Thank you. Tell Mrs. and I have been married for 11.5 years. I can type in the same stuff at the same time. So basically, like a lot of my colleagues are University of Michigan football fans. Like a lot of them. And so we've been like talking about their we've been talking about the game for a while. And like the whole football season really. And so I took a red cardigan and printed out an OSUO and put it on the cardigan. And it's funny, like, because I think a bunch of them forgot that we were having an ugly sweater party, or like that would be the reason why I was wearing it. So I walk into the office and like multiple people are like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "This is the ugliest thing I could think of." And I won by a landslide. I felt so bad because people really did put a lot of work into like actual like impressively ugly sweaters. So it was entirely an inside joke. And for that reason, I won. Back from a work party with supervisors overseas, found my battery for socializing burned out in the middle. Well, Bill, I'm glad you're here. And if you need to lurk, totally okay, buddy. Take care of yourself. Do what you gotta do to recharge that battery. However much time it takes for you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Bree, have a good time at work, my friend. I hope it's not too stressful for you. Sometimes it's simple that does it. This really is a good song. I promise this will be the only Christmas song we listen to today. Actually, I won't make that promise. At least for the next, like, 20 minutes. In the absence of a compelling reason not to. All right, we got top set. Got a top set of 35. Wow. Kara, to your point about like alerts to let me know, I hope it hasn't been too disappointing to like join as a mod and then find out that I'm just such a wreck when it comes to setting things up that really need to get set up. I want to say it's my new job. I'm going to blame my new job for a lot of things. The amount of time that I've spent these last 4 months trying to address things that I did incorrectly in the last 2 months, addressing things that I did incorrectly in the first 2 months. Does that make sense? Been at my new job for 4 months now. And most of my time recently has been spent addressing mistakes that I made 2 months ago. Good side, expenses of meals, tax today around company's tab, save me some money. That's good, Bill. Have a good lurk. Bare Naked Ladies has a good Christmas album. Oh, William Shatner also has a Christmas album. Did you all know? He has an entire Christmas album of him singing. I listened to it all the way through once and then never touched it again. I think it's almost time to revisit it. Is there a song about the captain's log? I can't remember. I don't think so. I want to say it's like... I want to say it's almost entirely covers. I don't know that he's done, like, original works. Silly Fallout Boy. Ozzy Osbourne Christmas is quite interesting. Oh. Is it about the Polar Express? The board! Someone say log. What up, Bars? How we doing? Good to see you. Okay, that was a good joke. I'm gonna ride that one for the rest of the stream. I can't take credit for it. Men are like that with me. Listen to me once, they'll never touch me again. Jay, hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. How you doing? Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Modern dating, am I right? Modern dating. I somehow completely dodged modern, like, app dating. Let's hope it stays that way. Pancakes look dope. You like my cakes? Oh, you like my sweater? We were just talking about the sweater. About to row for 10 to 20 minutes. Lou has ruined my legs this week. Yeah, are you, like, passed out on the floor again? Thanks for listening in, Bars. I appreciate you. Can I record you a sound command for your mic? I'd love to. Tabs, I will absolutely accept that. Yes, please. Yes, please. If my sound alerts were working. Okay, so here's one of the problems is that I turn off sound alerts during certain sound alerts during certain scenes. I have them shut off. So, like, whenever I do a wellness minute, I pretty much make sure everything but my mic is muted so that, like, if someone wants to, like, start spamming something, it doesn't ruin the recording. Henriette, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Run Club. How are you? Just in the shred shed on my C2 rower. They see me rowing. They hating. Patrolling and trying to catch me rowing dirty. Trying to catch me. Oh, Lou's here. Hi, Lou. Welcome in. Oh, no. Did you really just say that in my chat? Tabs, how are you? How are you doing? How was your week? He has a shred shed. That's right. A lot of shredding happens in that shedding. All right. Hey, everyone. I'd like to formally request a spirit bomb for this one. We got a top set, a couple of doubles, and then we'll move on to we're doing doubles all day. We're gonna do one set, 335 for 2, and then we're gonna go down to 320 for 2. So thank you, Lou. Thanks for lurking. Which woods? What? Wait, hold on. I missed something here. Dating's easy. I found a man in the woods. Kid, dating app is horrible. Okay. All right. I actually am on a timeline today, and I'm really goofing around, aren't I? Here we go. Belt up. Heavy boy. Not too heavy for me. Yeah! Oh, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Watch Braveheart. But did you watch Highlander? Did you watch Highlander? Right. Pull your pens off. Put on some 2.5s. LEGGIES. One baby. Second baby engage. Oh, that's right. I'm a fool. You know, after you spend a lot of time with these like 10-pound discs, it just seems so silly. So silly and strange. Who is doing the most fun chill thing? I'm having the most fun. I used to like Mel Gibson, especially in the Lethal Gun movies. Yeah. It's a shame that he had to be all like weirdly anti-Semitic and stuff. Objectively bad and historically inaccurate. As Pat Benatar said. Fire away! Yeah, historical inaccuracy is at the heart of good Hollywood, honestly. As long as people are like straightforward about historical inaccuracy, right? Yeah, the song's a banger. I'm a big Bad Sons fan. Got to be like one of my favorite genders. I didn't know what to believe. Battle of Sterling Bridge took place in a field nowhere near a bridge. No one asked any questions about that during filming. What was the one that came out on Netflix with Chris Pine recently? What was the name of that film? That was supposedly a more Outlaw King. What do you think of that one, Lou? Did we talk about that yet? Lord tells me you can get out of this. He's pretty sure. I enjoyed it. All of Hollywood isn't documentaries? Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Didn't half of your friends reappear 2 years ago? They were just gone for a while, right? Everyone faded away for about 5 or 7 years. I can't remember the number. Then they all just like came back, right? Didn't half of everyone's friends disappear? Happened to me. Outlaw King was good. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really glad that and I don't want to dwell on this, but I did have a little bit of an edible before I watched it, and I'm really glad I did, because like the whole for some reason Hollywood and like pop culture in general have become obsessed with the Blood Eagle in the last 10 years. No, like last like 2 years. I keep seeing it and hearing about it. And like nobody said a damn thing about a Blood Eagle until a couple of years ago. Not flawless, but history can never be Hollywood is this rarely as exciting for people not afflicted by said history. 100%. You gotta have a... It's always gonna be a bit of... what's a Blood Eagle? I would be cautious about Googling it. I don't think you'll find too much graphic depictions on a quick search, but I can't imagine it's going to be a good time. All right, Dubs. Oh. All right, we'll watch the time. Yeah. Yeah, be careful. Specific book, and oh boy, it was a good writer. I feel like in book, it's not too... It's not as bad, right? Like, very... I don't know, to me, a very graphic writing depiction of something is difficult, but Hollywood's developed a fascination with making things as gory as possible. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it. Bars, have a good workout, my friend. Get it moving. We shall go with the bad way to die and leave it there. There we go. Yeah. We all ready for some Henry Cavill collecting blood for the blood god and skulls for the skull throne? Wait, what got announced? Was there a new announcement that I missed? About Henry? Oh, Henry. Oh, Henry. Oh, yes. Yeah. I heard about that. See, I am super uninformed about Warhammer. I had a Warhammer video game when I was very young, and it was an RTS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an RTS. And I just did not get it. I did not get it. Warhammer lore is fantastic. I've heard the same. Yeah. I've heard that the writing and lore is just extremely good for that it puts D&D to shame, basically, with the writing. Ooh, Darktide. I've been meaning to try it. My stinking backlog has gotten so big. So big over the last couple of weeks. It's unfair. Absolutely unfair. I got so many games I want to play. I really want to play 7 Days to Die. And I hear that at 2 o'clock today, at 2 o'clock Eastern time today, Paul and Sam are going to be playing some 7 Days to Die with me. Give me a shout if you ever want to do some Darktide. Absolutely will. It's an FPS, right? Your backlog will grow come Christmas. I hope that everyone's log grows over Christmas. It sounds like a management sim. It is in some ways. It is in some ways. Hi everyone, my name is Joe, aka Cool Runnings, and here's hoping for you a happy holiday that your log may grow. Horde survival FPS. So Vermintide and Vermintide 2, it's the same energy as those, right? Same basic concepts, gameplay wise. All right, dubs, dub. Ooh. Oh, that form was not great. It's exactly like Vermintide. Same company, rather than set in the past, Warhammer, it's set in the future, Warhammer 40k. Got it. TIL. Today I learned. That is the difference between Warhammer and Warhammer 40k. Paul! Paul! Hi. Hi. I just gave you a little shizzity shout, but we'll do it again. I'll do it again. We'll do it again. I didn't know you were into this corner of the nerdiness. Ooh. You started playing Warhammer when you were 8? Welcome in, Paul. Hey, everyone, I'm going to say it again. At 2 o'clock Eastern time, I believe that's 7 p.m. British time. We're going to play 7 Days to Die, which is a zombie horde survival management game. It's one of those. It's one of those things. Farm, welcome in. Bringing me the squats. For context, I'm older than 8 now. Hey, 8 what? You know, you could really make up your own age as long as you don't have to provide units or context at any given time. I don't know who decided what a fortnight was, but they decided to just like make some random. There's a reason. I'm sure there's a reason behind it that I'm forgetting right now. Someone told me at some point. Proper British time. 7 p.m. proper British time. All right, I'll stop. Austin watch beat some zombies up, but I'm going out for once. Ooh, what you doing, Jay? What you doing? You having drinks? Had no idea. I'm on too many painting communities. That's the only reason I know it. Oh, neat. Sorry. Mini painting, not mini painting. Mini painting, not small communities about painting. Communities that paint minis. Yes? Oh, Tabs, I'm sorry. Past my last project on my cert, only 7 left. Yes! You're so close! You're so close! Tabs, you're crushing it. Painting a Mini Cooper, tiny cars. Painting minis, communities, not small painting communities. Yeah, yes. We paint small things here. Not that we are small and paint things. But, I don't know, maybe there is a Smurf art Discord. They run the name together on Instagram and it just looks like Smurf Arts. I don't know what a Smurf art is. Painting mini communists, yes. Comrade, you've got a little chip on your cheek. Let me just get in there and paint it up for you. Yeah? Yeah, comrade? If I could just get a little brush right in there. Right in, yeah. Oh, you look so good. You're looking so good, comrade. Has anyone told you lately? You're glowing today. What color does a Smurf go if you string? I'm not entertaining that. ASMR communism. That is like, no shit. That's gotta be someone's kink. There are 8 billion people on this planet. There's gotta be at least one person who has a kink of like Russian communist face painting. You know how there's like those random generators for names online? It's like a random band name generator. There's gotta be a random kink generator. You can just like control the variables a little bit, but ultimately it's just gonna spit out something that'll turn you on. I'm not shaming. Okay. Okay. This is a classic playlist. This is the playlist. I like our lifty list. The lifty lift list. It has become more and more nostalgic as streams have gone on. We're gonna do some external rotations with the band. Y'all like my new cuffs? I can't get them off. Yo, over it. Thank you so much for the gift sub. Meow, meow, meow. Had to go deadlift 2. Word. Have a good session, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that generosity. Dragonborn, Nikki, not sure if you're around today. I hope you are having a great day. Enjoy your emotes and your ad-free viewing. We got one more set of deads. Ha. I can't get them off. How's the training been between running and lifting? Going Gucci? It's going okay. So yesterday, okay, I'll give you give you the full picture. So I realized that I've been making like a pretty big mistake in my training, and my plan was to 2 runs a week, right? 2 like main days where I'm running, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are my tempo days, Thursdays are my speed days. But what I've been doing is like alternating on, like 1 week I'll do a tempo Tuesday and a slow Thursday. The next week I'll do a slow Tuesday and a speed Thursday. The problem with that is that it essentially means that at some point I'm going to have a speed Thursday backed up to a tempo Tuesday with 1 day of rest and 1 day of lifting in between. Borgs, thank you for the resub. 1 year. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Borgs. Thank you. Yeah, we're working out on Saturday. So I always lift on Saturdays, but I always lift off stream on Saturdays is the plan. Thank you, Borgs. So basically I went too hard on Tuesday after not getting enough rest. And like my left side, my calf has been locking up. But on Thursday, I did like a slow run in the morning. And then I climbed that evening, woke up Friday morning to do like a quick lift before I had to get to work. And everything was just moving really slow because I climbed the night before. So I'm just like, I'm still working on the whole effort management thing. But I think until I have my max week, I need to just go only slow runs from here on out and keep it like 5 miles, 4 miles or shorter. One more set. Daddies. Don't overthink it. Bravery, not bravado. Yes. When's max week? Ideally, it's going to be my birthday week. So I have 1 more week of effort, and then I'm going to take an easy weekend. And then after that, we're maxing. So the hope is I could see that the problem with this is that I could completely wreck myself right before my birthday. So the plan is to check myself prior to doing so. I figure as long as I check myself, the chances of me wrecking myself have lowered. When's the birthday? So we are doing our celebration on December 30th. Big old 30th. We're doing the dirty 30 on the 30. '30th and the 30th, yeah. Yeah, so the current plan, I'm still waiting to hear from the local org that I was going to do a fundraiser with. And I have a feeling that they're just really busy and we're not going to actually be able to get Tiltify set up for them. So I may have to raise for a larger org, but that's fine. The problem is that I'm unsure of which larger org I want to raise for. Got a little bit of time though. Cool thing about Tiltify nowadays is there's so many people using it. They have such good market share. So like realistically, you could announce a fundraiser the day before it happens and have everything you need set up. But yeah, mark your calendars, friends, for the 30th. You want to celebrate a little bit with me? Each of you coming in the Discord for community games. Probably a movie night too. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Wait, Paul, you're getting ads? Jay, it's weird. Yeah. Whew. But yeah, so to answer your question, Jay, I'm older. Lauren likes older men. I'm the older one. She knew how bad my knees were and decided that maybe she'd like a piece of this man. Maybe. You don't act like it. He's joining us old streamers. The algorithm is going to punish me as soon as I flip over 30. That's the problem. I'm older than... I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, I mentioned in the Discord last night that I got to have a few drinks with my coworkers and like really kind of let loose for the first time in many years. And it was hard to explain to them, like, you know, some of them I do tell about the whole streaming thing. We had a really nice conversation about how, like, we are not the same people in the office as we are outside of it just because of the way that our job is, but, like, you know, it's got to be like that. So, yeah, I'm a little baby sometimes. Did I say hello? Hello? Joining my new government. Court people are obviously not themselves, and that irks you. Are you more formal at work? I am a little more formal, like... See, I don't even want to say that I'm more formal, because I guess I don't know if that's the right word for it. Like, in the initial stages of my career, I would get in trouble for my mouth, you know? Making fart jokes at the wrong time, or like being filthy, but like truth to power in a way that like was not necessarily productive, because there's a difference, a little less degenerate. Yeah, like you have to chameleon a little bit, right? And it's very, I don't know, it's very interesting because I think we talk about like chameleon personalities as being something that is really harmful. Because it's like, oh, that person isn't who they say they are. When, like, no. There are just, like, social norms that I conform to in certain spaces, and other spaces where I'm like, yeah, this is, like, the person that I'm going to be. But... Cool. Goodbye. Do this Friday funny in the work group chat, but it has to do it twice. You know how hard it's been to send something in? I can't use my humor. Well, like, I had someone say to me the other day, like, oh, like, I don't know where the line is anymore. And then I gave them 2 examples of something that, like, crossed the line and something that was totally okay. And they were like, well, yeah, that's obvious. I'm like, okay, well, then you know where the line is. Take shot. All right, we gotta get 165 on the bar for warm-ups. 155. Diggity Schwem. 55. My IQ. 55. Welcome back to the internet pre-2010. My name is Cool Runnings and I'll be your guide. I don't know. I feel pretty good about turning 30. I don't want to talk about it too much now because, like, I have a feeling we'll have a lot of discussions about it during the actual day. Hey, Jen, welcome in. Oh, it's okay, Para. Someone shared a Billy Connolly stand-up session, and I was like, I'm so sorry for the swearing. I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever. So glad no one in real life knows my online persona except my closest friends. I know who you are. D-Gen, how was your Saturday? How's your Saturday going? Honest conversation, hang on. With a member of our content design team and doing things around feedback around our directorate. Only when to email and offer feedback. We had an amazing 1 hour long conversation around those annual work survey things. Well as things around language and power, unapologetically me, will be problematic for some, but I can't compromise on that. Well, I think there's a difference between like being yourself in a conversation that you've like established, like you've well established that the boundaries are going to be maybe a little more loose because you have to talk about some uncomfortable things, right? Like as long as people are still able to disengage when they need to, and as long as everyone understands, like this is the kind of conversation we're having. I'm speaking very generally right now, but I hope you all understand what I mean. ACNH? Yeah. There are a lot of people getting back into Animal Crossing right now. I blame Sam. Just started, so right now, man, had a rather rude wake-up call this AM. Oh, Jen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your bad call. You know what's a good call? You want to know what a good call is? Hanging out with us. Hanging out with us right now. That's a good call. Especially when you're reflecting on discrimination issues, people feeling exploited and pressured. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you got to talk about it, right? We're getting to the point in my work where I think some of those walls are starting to come down to where people can really be honest with each other. And so it's going to get uncomfortable for a little while, but eventually we'll come out on the other end of it being stronger. That's how it works. But D-Gen, what do you got planned for the day? Love to hear about your weekend, what you got going on. If there are exciting things. I fully blame Sam. Even Moss logged on. Sam's fault. Oh boy. Oh man. I don't have time to island. I got Pokemon. I still got to prep in a Azumarill. I got so many candies saved up. It shouldn't take long. Really bad DOMs in my brachialis and legs when I take time off or slack and get fat. What can I do to not get DOMs around those areas? Warrior MK, thank you for the follow. Or reduce the pain while going to work. Is there a particular vitamin or mineral I can take to reduce DOMs or reduce lactic acid buildup overall? Yeah, Warrior, give me just a moment. I'm gonna do this set, and then I can talk through that a little bit because I think there's a lot of things that I'm picking up on what's happening for you. But welcome in. Happy to help if I can. All right, 195 on the bar. So Warrior, can I ask, when you have DOMs, how long does it stick around for? How long do you get DOMs for typically? Say you work out on Monday. When are you still feeling it? Start there. All right, chat, help me stay on time with these. Lily, hello. Can I get a shout for Supernatural Writer, Para, whenever you get a chance? No rush. On the cuff emote. Eventually, oh my god. Happy time zones. Andy, welcome in. Yeah, so Warrior. So let's, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this conversation too. So thank you for asking this question. Oh, sorry. Nothing major for this weekend. Just laundry and cleaning off my desk. Jen, I'm really happy that you're taking the time to clean. Because, like, that's so good. For me, it's, like, so good for my brain when I put aside time to clean. But it just, like, falls back away. Getting back to the gym after a while of not hitting weights for a year. Yeah, so right now, you're probably going to feel more DOMs. So delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMs, is basically just, like, there's a lot of conversation initially. There was a lot of conversation just saying that, like, DOMs is muscle damage, and that, like, in the simplest terms possible, you are causing muscle damage, and then the next day you're recovering, and, like, the recovery of that muscle damage, those muscles adapt, they get stronger, they get bigger with hypertrophy, and that's, like, how muscle growth happens. There's more and more research showing that it's not that simple, that it is the depletion of chemicals, the buildup of lactic acid, the depletion of ATP in particular, over the course of a workout and after the workout, that cause DOMs, that make you sore, that make it so that when you do a really hard leg day, you sit down and you can't get back up. So to control DOMs, there's a number of things you can do. The first thing is one, like, stay consistent, right? It sounds like you're getting back into it, and so it makes sense that your DOMs are going to be a little more prevalent, especially, like, even if I were to take just like 2 weeks off after training consistently for a lot of years, I'm going to get pretty bad DOMs coming back to it. So try to be consistent, right? If you, I don't know what your current workout schedule is, but shoot for like 3 days a week, right? Thank you for these follows, friends. Sir Boston and Milo Silva, welcome in and thank you. And Gaston, hello. So try to shoot for those 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week, 5 days a week, but make sure that there's not huge gaps in time between when you're training. Each muscle group ideally should get 72 hours to recover, but make sure that's not like, yeah, so if you're gonna do 3 days a week, that's great. Try not to pack them all in, right? Don't do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then do nothing for the rest of the week. Try to do Monday, Tuesday off, like lift Monday, lift Wednesday, lift Friday, something in that regard. So I'm gonna get there, Warrior. So as far as like the other thing you can do to control DOMs is be mindful, especially if your DOMs is existing for more than like 2 days afterwards. You're probably going a little too hard, right? There's a difference between adaptability and like doing enough work so that you're recovering and that your muscles are getting stronger and they're adapting, and like just pushing so hard that you're causing what is essentially what is damage, and you're so sore, right? Because you've lifted way too much, you've done too many reps. Jeff Nippert has a really good video about the optimal amount of work that you can do in a set. I want to say, I'm going to put the title in the chat here. But essentially, like, beyond a certain threshold, if you're doing too many sets, too many reps, or like too many workouts on a certain body area, it's not going to be beneficial for you. You're just going to be like kind of you might burn calories, but that's about it. So try to like cut back a little bit. You can still lift a little bit heavier, but make sure that you're not like, you should not walk out of every session going, I'm completely dead. Fox! Welcome in. Welcome in. You have a lot of cut off shirts. Where do you find them all? So this one I cut. I ordered a bad t-shirt and then I cut it down. How you doing, Rionic? Did you say Jeff Nippard? Yes. His name is Jeff Nippard, not Jeff Nipples. But yeah, so I mean, those are the two main things, right? Like, try to stay consistent. Try to make sure that you're not overdoing it. You should feel DOMS for like 24 to 48 hours after a workout. If you're consistently feeling it 4 days after, 5 days after, even longer, then you've not really worked out. You've just like done a bunch of damage, you know? So that's the other thing. Sorry, one more thing, and I'll talk about it after this set, because I got to do these pauses. Is 5x3? Yes. Okay, we're in good shape. Cool. Don't overdo it. Lightweight, 3 days a week. Last thing, don't be totally sedentary after you work out, especially if you have a really hard workout. Just like don't couch potato, right? Try to like get up and get moving every couple of hours. That's like a really, really common mistake that people make, and they're wondering why they're so sore. Because like, especially after you've done all of that, you need to make sure that you're getting blood flow all the way through your body. So take a couple walks, do a little bit of time on the treadmill if you've got one, or get on the bike a little bit, but try to just make sure, like, even if you're like staying in the house and you're working at home, you're working a desk job, just like get up and walk a lap around the office. Nipple snippered. It's all the same muscle group. Oh, Para, thank you so much for linking the video. Fox, how was your Saturday? Watching you work out while my pizza rolls heat up in the air fryer. Hell yeah. If DOMS goes on longer as like a beginner, is that okay? It is. It is. And I would still just make sure you're being mindful of your effort, right? Like, don't be afraid to push a little bit harder, but if it is consistently, like every single week after leg day, you're getting sore like for the rest of the week, just you know, try to consider cutting back your movements a little bit. Like say your leg day session is squats, and then leg press, and then goblet squats, and then leg extensions, and then hamstring curls. That's a hell of a leg day, right? If you're doing like 4 to 5 sets of all of those things, that's a lot, like a lot. So, you know, cut back a set, right? You don't have to dump the volume entirely, but, you know, if you're doing 4 sets of something or 5 sets of something, cut it back to 3. I do think any like accessory work you do should always be 3 sets or more, but here we go. Warm down is important as warm up. Absolutely. Can I use a heat pack as well, or ice pack? There's not really a lot of research right now that supports whether that actually helps. Like massage can help a lot. So like getting a foam roller or one of these bad boys. Yeah. Here we go. But yeah, using a massage gun. Ideally, like either as a little bit of a warm up, or as a cool down, or like even when you're watching TV. Not a sex toy. It certainly isn't. Ooh la la, the golden gun. Do I sound like I'm getting bird right now? But yeah, most of the recent research on massage guns shows that like it's most effective when you do it right after your workout. But like I will like hang out and watch shows with Lauren in the evening and just like go down for about 20 minutes and just like work on the parts of my legs, including my calves, that are the most problematic for me. Having some insomnia fun, so I'm not that far into Saturday yet. Oh, Fox, I'm sorry. You know, you could always, if you subscribe on YouTube, you will never lose. It'll be really easy to find content. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's really easy to find all my stuff. Is that T-Pain? Jason Derulo. You could definitely repurpose a certain category. You could. You could. I feel like I come in and just derail. No, you're quite fine, Fox. You're quite fine. So, Warrior, let me know if you'd like additional help with that. But those are my general thoughts, right? I think DOMS is really something you just got to be patient with it initially. And then you can do things to control it. It just involves a little bit of extra effort. Remember that your recovery is just as important as the actual workout. Because you can work out all day long. Work out all day long, but if you're not giving yourself time and energy to recover, not taking care of yourself after your workouts, why'd you work out, right? No, it's all good, Warrior. Being nervous is good. Nervous means you care. I say that to people all the time at work. If you weren't nervous about it, it wouldn't matter to you, right? Not caring is easy. Caring is free, but it's hard sometimes. Cool, 2 sets down. Boy howdy, this is moving more slowly than I expected. A Snoop Dogg Christmas. SNOOPDOGG. BRB, gotta go text my cousin. See you soon, Andy. I'm glad you're here today. Should help. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I used to hit my leg days way too hard and would always get pretty bad DOMs afterwards. But the more I do to just like make sure that I stay moving, in periods when I've been able to get like 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, regardless of what I'm doing, my DOMs are like way down. Way down. Moss is on prepare all weekend, a forced version of on-call for weather emergencies. Oh, that stinks, Para. Please pass along my condolences to our boy Mothi. We love Mossy here. I'm sorry that he's got to deal with that bullshit, as the kids say. Bullshit. Trying to make it move slowly. Slower lifter equals longer stream. So this time, there's going to be a little bit of a break, but at 2 o'clock, we're going to be playing some games. So I need to make sure that I get enough of a break in between there to get Edie moving before I start. Lou, have a good lurk. Thank you for hanging out, friendo. So really, like, you're going to be getting a lot of me today anyway. No matter what. I'm going to be around for a little bit today. 20-minute row is done. My DOMs feel worse. They feel worse now, but they'll feel better later. They'll feel better later. I promise you. Go to the movies today. What are you watching? What's on the menu? Did I mess up my tripod? I must have. You don't watch Avatar? Oh. Wow. I did not know that was coming out. I didn't know we were there yet, friends. I'll be honest. I totally missed that one. James Cameron. Who's that? Set the arch. Grip up. Wrist neutral. Come on. Nothing loving. No popcorn. That's okay. That's okay. Avatar is in the big blue guys. Yeah, like Bear in the Big Blue House. But big blue bear in the statement on colonialism house. And it's working at the theater. That must have had that must have had some perks to it, Andy. I feel like you always had good stories. The free movies entirely, yeah. You play Pokemon Scarlet yet? Game's pretty fun. Oh yeah, we've been playing Scarlet. I just on Thursday I beat the Elite Four. I beat the Elite Four and took on the post Elite Four battles that come as a result. So I still have to do the endgame stuff, but I love Scarlet. It's so good. So good. Thank goodness when he's lifting, we get 2 different angles of his crotch. That's right. I'm very thoughtful about this, Ed. I know exactly. Granted, can I ask a fitness question? You absolutely may. Go for it. Oh, Earth explosion. It's like having to choose between a popcorn and 2 pops and half of your rent this month. Oh, burps. Oh, you said the thing. It's all too expensive. Music in that post Elite Four stuff is epic. It's so good. It's so good. How do you learn new lifts? Ooh, that's a good question. Medrin, hello. Welcome in, welcome back. Are you a fitness trainer? I'm not. I've been working towards a certification for a while. But like every time I start to get towards a fitness certification, something else comes up with my job, like my job, which is HR. So like I was starting towards a fitness certification, and then I had to start doing a certification for HR, and then I was starting towards it again, and then I got a new job, and then I was starting towards it again, and then I had to take another certification. So I'm training up for another certification for the real. Oh, thank you, Rionic. I've trained a couple of people, like closer friends, you know, that we've had the conversation of like, look, I'm not a certified trainer. Like I know a lot of stuff, but just so you know, like there's no piece of paper that says that I know stuff. So I'm an enthusiast. Very enthusiastic. But so Rionic, I'll tell you actually how you learn new lifts. And it really is just like trying stuff, right? If you go and search out like any sort of like, if you were to Google like 5-day lifting routine, 4-day lifting routine, 3-day, you know, whatever you want to do, like start looking up different lifting splits, you will see a number of free programs that people have put together that are going to include a lot of different movements. And at first, when you try to do a new movement, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel wrong. Don't be afraid to just like try it. Do it at a lighter weight. Be willing to do it wrong, because part of progressive overload, which is the concept that we use to get stronger, to get faster, is doing things with better form. So like all of my bench stuff that I've been doing, my numbers have not moved a lot in the last year, but what has moved is my form. My form has gotten a lot better in bench press. Now that my form is better, I can get stronger. So that's the thing about learning new moves, is like, you know, another thing, don't be afraid to record yourself. Because if you're in a gym and you're recording yourself, no one actually cares. Unless you are like really like getting up in someone else's business, no one's gonna care that you're recording. But recording yourself the first couple of times feels awful. You're going to look at your body and you might think like, I don't like how that looks. I don't like the way my body is twisting or contorting or all of these things. But like, it really is an important step towards seeing and feeling, like making that difference, like making that mind-muscle connection so that you know what you're doing when you're doing a workout. One more set. Hydrate. Thank you. Google is telling me that I need to redo my food handlers. Wait, what? Like your graspers? Got to redo your graspers? These are my food handlers. I'm sure you mean like your food handling certification. Are you ServSafe certified? Hey, anyone else in the chat that's ServSafe certified? Throw your hands in the air. Your physique is your certificate. Oh, thank you, Warrior. Appreciate you. Terrified of what other people at the gym think of me. I definitely dislike how I look. Must slay these anxieties and insecurities. I mean, that's kind of what I think that's kind of what Jay is saying, you know, is like part of getting beyond those insecurities is like looking them in the face, you know. And this isn't going to work for everyone, right? But like, you cannot allow the image that you have of yourself to be the only image of yourself. Yeah. Let me try to explain this further. We have what our brains think we look like. We have what we actually look like. And then we have this kind of like space in between where we are perceiving images of ourselves and how we are filling in the gaps, right? Yeah, we'll call it a free wellness minute. We already did one today. But like, when you close your eyes and like try to, like, this is weird, right? But close your eyes and try to picture your body, right? Close your eyes and picture yourself naked. Do that right now. What do you see? Like, what is the image that you have? It's probably unclear, right? Or you are seeing yourself in a much more negative light or a more positive light, right? And I say that with like negative, positive, but like you're probably filling in a lot of things. And so when you start to get comfortable, like videotaping yourself doing exercises, looking at yourself in the mirror, it does not have to automatically be an exercise of vanity to look at yourself in the mirror. That is understanding who you are. I'm a certified idiot, if that helps. It does help. You're a certified badass, Ed. It's technically not serve safe. First started, I'm like, can you kids finish your sets faster and not stand around and talk like it's a high school hallway, please? Yeah. Why is everyone reacting so negatively to this? You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You must know your meat mech to service it. Exactly. Video yourself naked for others to review. That's what we're heading towards, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's like that's step 27. Right. Because no matter what happens, you wouldn't look like me, right? Like, we could all eat the same things, do the same stuff, get the same sleep, and like genetically we're gonna look different. That's just gonna be the way it is. And like I had to come to terms with the fact a long time ago, and like I've made a lot of physique progress in the last couple of years, but like prior to that there was a lot of self-work that I had to do in like breaking down what it is that I was picturing myself as versus what I actually looked like. So if you're not ready for it yet, don't do it. But it's a step you can take, right? Know thyself. And that includes thy physical self. You gotta love your body. You don't have to love the way it looks every single day, but love what it is and what it does for you. Like yesterday, I had 2 shots of Jameson, 2 gin and tonics, and I didn't die. And I love my body for taking care of for surviving that ordeal. After having not really done any drinking for some period of time, I processed the poison. Yeah. It's a subscription step. Pay for that. Hammer the meat mech's tongue to a coffee table every morning before breakfast and then drink lemonade. Oh my god, Jen! Wow! That's graphic. Trying to work out what to wear to the gym. It covers me enough. I don't sweat too much in. It's weird halfway with transition and nothing fits right except sweats. Buy some kettlebells for home. You gotta do what works for you, right? You gotta do what works for you. And I'll say, like, shirts like these, like, you know, I got this from Target. I know, like, internationally this is gonna be different, but like, you know, it's light, it's moisture wicking, It doesn't get me too warm. Especially like a little bit baggier clothes are definitely gonna, you'll feel a little bit cooler as long as it's a decent fabric to it. Strive for body neutrality. I don't love it, but it gets me places. I don't like it when my legs get me walk. I don't adore it, but hey, it keeps me warm. Exactly. I'm sorry about your hot wine, Jay. Focus on what your body can do. Exactly. It slices, it dices, it hides Joe's abs. It keeps them to me. And that's okay, Jen. If it takes time, that's all right. That's all right. The approach is going to be different for everyone. Just the approach that has worked for me has been slowly transitioning from self-loathing to self-love, and it's taking time. I will abuse this body until it falls in line. Many people treat their body like a temple. I'm treating mine like a temple. More like a brick of marble. More like a fresh brick of marble that I will pound until it does exactly what I need it to. I gotta date the marble. I gotta lick the marble. I gotta be the marble. Oh. But I also really love weightlifting. That's my other thing. I love it. Movie time. See you soon. Hey, enjoy your movie, Rionic. Body's like one of those temples falling apart with monkey shit all over it. Dragonborn, hello. Thank you so much for the lurk. Warrior, are you a fellow SpongeBob enjoyer? Thing is, I feel like no one at the gym studio is actually focusing on what you look like. You are focusing more on what you look like than they do. Yeah. And you know what? There's always going to be a small percentage of people who are going to be dickheads and like decide that someone else's appearance is their problem. Hang on just a second, folks. I will be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Is this working? It is. Yeah? Cool. Hey, my neighbor brought me wine. He makes my neighbor makes a trip around the neighborhood to drop off bottles of wine, and so it's a cab. But I love the name of it because what have we been doing for the last little bit here? It's bed press. I got Game Pass, Paul. Is that okay? I want your neighbor. He's a good dude. He's an old vet. And he's a... It's so funny. I think he's one of those dudes who like has really kind of seen the world in an old-fashioned lens for so long. And like every time I have a conversation with him, he opens his mind up a little bit, and I love that. That is good. Okay. Crack it open right now. You want me to crack it open right now? It's a 2017. I was a little surprised. Oh, Mace, thank you. Thank you. Neighbor knew. Hello, David. Good morning. For Christmas, yeah. He puts on a little Santa beard and a hat and like runs around the neighborhood and drops off wine for people. He likes, you know, we got a good relationship. I've like tried to explain the streaming thing to him a couple of times, and he's just like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, all right, whatever. I think I've somehow earned a lot of respect from him. Like Lauren and I both have, for the amount of work that we've done on the house. Whenever he sees us working on something, he's just like, wow, you guys really got it figured out, huh? It's like, no. Are you kidding me? What time is it? 12:43. Okay. Never left this dog's mess in my garden. Duxer, welcome in, friend. How you doing? Cheers to you. No one needs to see my stairs. But Warrior, thank you for the kind words on the home gym. This thing's been building up over the last 2 years we've been in the house. It's funny to think about what it used to look like. We got front squats. I don't want to do front squats, so we're gonna do front squats. I don't think I've done front squats on stream before. Everyone ready to see my horrible wrist mobility? Whoop. We're gonna put 135 on for warm-up set. Then we'll bump up to 185. Hi, Evie. Thank you for letting me know that Tom was here. Are you looking for treats? Sit. Thank you. Good girl. Wait right there. Evie's here! Cheers. Happy Saturday, Ducks. Are the boards for Ollie stuff or something else? So I don't do Olympic powerlifting, but I do so we were doing deadlifts earlier. I do all my squats on the boards. Okay. Girl. But yeah, I built them myself. Made them out of boards and horse mats. So yeah, fresh build just this year. Neighbors play music very loud while having a cookout. The music was the vibe. I don't even mind it. Hey, of course, Warrior. Have a great... Feel ready to tackle Saddams of Liftingshire. It's Liftingshire. That's right. It's Liftingshire. But David, how's your Saturday? How's your Saturday going? I gotta stop putting these off. I just gotta do them. Ooh. Ooh. But yeah, I'm kind of a wannabe powerlifter, so I already know they're gonna suck. Fine. So warm-up set. We'll do a working weight at 185. I might even have to drop that down a little bit. We'll see how it feels. I don't think I'm meant to do a ton of volume this week. but I'm gonna do it anyway. Woo. Don't drip on the bricks. Ducks, are you an ollie lifter? Cat, hello. How are you doing, Catatouille? Welcome in, friendo. Just to protect the floor. That's mainly, yeah. Yeah, that's mainly it. I wanted to make sure, because I was starting to deadlift a little bit more, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't totally ruining the foundation of my house. So, because we're in a basement down here. Did the same dumb stuff everyone does in the gym for the first year, then moved into powerlifting. Right on, okay. Muscles all big and strong. Went to shit and everything, so everything suffered. Ah, I'm sorry about that, Ducks. Other day, what the fuck for me, I actually encountered some crazy on social media. Had to ask someone, friends for help, was wasn't able to figure out what to do. In general, David, don't be afraid to block people, right? You gotta just block people and move on. Honestly, I've had so many, like, way too many interactions on Instagram where people started being like really awful and gross and invasive, and you just gotta block them and move on. Because sometimes people aren't even actually, they don't even actually care. They just want to get under your skin because that is like a fun thing for them. But I'm sorry you had that happen to you, David. Kat, I'm doing great. We're doing some 7 days to die after this. I should probably be moving a lot faster lift-wise, but yeah, we're gonna do some 7 days to die with Paul and Sam. Gonna play some. I'm gonna play Pokemon tonight to get ready for the Charizard raid. Wifey's like, "What are you doing playing so many video games?" JK, she's also playing a lot of video games. More Ollie stuff for now. Still largely powerlifting. Fun. Okay. Jay, I'm not gonna block you. It's okay. Don't block Jay. Don't block Jay. Jay's only a little creepy sometimes. A little creepy sometimes. But yeah, I did hypertrophy work for a long time. A lot of what I was doing was bodybuilder style, like bro splits. Anyone know what it's called when you cut holes in bread and fry them in butter? Yes, eggy in the basket. I was doing that for it's called egg in a basket is what I've heard. I was doing that for breakfast pretty often for a while, actually. We gotta get this I put down 20 pounds. We're gonna do 30 pounds for our lateral raises. If anyone knows them by a different name, let me know. First message that night was, I have a bone to pick with you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll just put it out of your mind. Easier said than done, obviously. But, you know. Don't give them any more of your mental energy. They've already taken enough. Oh, come on. Ah. The thing that kills me about front squats, it's not even my legs. I could move that weight over and over and over again with my legs. My stinking wrists. Power building seems to be the big trend right now because of YouTube. Not necessarily a bad thing. No. I mean, my thing is, like, I try to be a runner and a lifter at the same time. And it's not as many would say, it's not optimal. So I've heard that toad in the hole is when you put a sausage into bread that you bake. Ah, boy, these are heavy. Good heavy, though. Not danger heavy. Cat, why are you laughing at me? Sausage and Yorkshire pudding. Okay, that's what I thought. Because we made it at work one time. And one of our chefs was like, that's not toad in the hole. This is toad in the hole. It was actually pretty awful. Because they made it in like a hotel pan. And they made like 15, maybe like 20 servings of it. So all you saw was like this pan of, you saw this like pan of basically like bread pudding with like all these little sausages just like sticking up out of it. It's the weirdest looking shit. It was very strange. Better. Coworker called me. He was drunk. Andy, what happened? Did you answer? May depend on where you are too. No, I Miss One Tree, I think you're right. Like, that's the funny thing about food, right? It's like there's so much of stealing an idea from another culture, renaming it, and then someone like it being completely unrecognizable in the wrong context, you know? Snooks, how we doing, buddy? Welcome in, friend. Toad in the hole made properly is top tier. It's honestly like a good sausage bread is very, very good. Sausage. Oh, I'm sorry, David. Really tickles me when people outside the UK hear about some English food, like Toad in the Hole / Bangers and Mash. Pretty weird names. Always fun to see what people expect it to be. I'm really fortunate to have lots of friends who are willing to correct me when I'm doing the naming it wrong. Best Toad in the Hole is a giant Yorkshire pudding, a couple big sausages, some veg and gravy, all in the Yorkie. Oh, sorry, hold on, I gotta say it. Yorkshire. It's not Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Bye, Jay. Have a good day. Snooks, fire away. Spotted dick is my fave to mention to non-UK folks. We have it in cans in our grocery stores. And it is definitely something that a lot of little kids will make jokes about. All right, I'm going to catch up on chat in just a second. I really need a bio break. I will be right back. Okay. Different countries independently of each other. Almost every coastal country in the world has their own version of a chowder. That's a good point, Dux. Yeah, chowder is like very broadly felt. Do you have the same problem as me where if you have obligations later in the day, you find it harder to enjoy yourself in the present moment because you have things that you need to do later? Yes, Snooks, absolutely. No, it's like I've gotten better about it by like trying to fill that space and make sure that like separating things that I want to do versus things that I need to do in the free time before a thing in the evening. But I hear you on that. Toad in the hole, put golden syrup on it. Not veg, and she'd roll her eyes at me. Well, we do have bangers and mash, but like it's just not as popular like as a dish in itself, right? Do come to New York next year. We must go to the York Roast Company. They have a full Sunday roast. Oh yeah, we'll make sure a Sunday is included in the trip, and we will absolutely make that happen. That's perfect. I would love it. Hold on, what is golden syrup? Wait, is golden syrup different than maple syrup? What is it? Now I'm curious. But Snoop's, definitely. I found that cleaning is something that helps me with that feeling. Once I like do a bit of cleaning, I feel like I can just kind of chill out until my evening plans. It is different. I was thinking honey, yeah. Light treacle. Oh, okay. Thick amber-colored form of inverted sugar syrup. Refining sugar cane or sugar beet juice into sugar. Huh. I only know how to pronounce, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Treacle? Is it just treacle? I only know because of an Arctic Monkeys song. Now it's getting dark, and the sky looks sticky. Yes. Pronunciation wins. We love Arctic Monkeys. I don't think there's like any on this playlist. It's kind of surprising now that I think about it. I come and go on Arctic Monkeys. I'll like binge it for a while and drop off. Can also use it as a pet name for people. Are you really? Is that like calling someone sugar? Is that like in the South calling someone sugar or honey? We love a pet name. Sugar. That's cute though. That's really cute. Ugh. Like disarmingly so. So we did 30 for 8. I'm changing everything today. Maybe in our next set we'll do actually do six reps. Sugar, sweetness, honey duck, love, petal. You have the Old Yellow Brick song in this playlist. I do. I up me old coca. Excuse you? Excuse you? Did you just call me a spring chicken? That'd be the old cocker would be the opposite of spring chicken, right? How does it feel to like throw out all of these different names and hear them said like in the most like white bread Midwest accent you can think of? Like I might as well start talking about hot dish and casserole. Hot dish, casserole, taking a bag to the supermarket. What else can I say? Oh, geez. I'm apologizing. The subtext of what I'm saying is that I'm apologizing right now. But I shouldn't. I shouldn't feel a need to apologize. They're just words said poorly. Oh, let me sneak right past you and grab the ranch. Caesar dressing. Hey up, duck. Usually said by his. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. No need to apologize. You're not Canadian. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I mean, Michigan's pretty close. I do occasionally tell people that I'm like geographically not far removed from Canadian. And I do like now that like Lauren's family has Canadian roots, so I am in-laws. I am in-laws with true Canadians. Her ancestors, ancestors. That's like going a little too far back. I want to say her great grandpa or her great grandpa, literally just like walked across the Detroit River when it froze over. Funny how you could just do that at one point. Obviously, it wasn't like super legal. Coworker is from one of the Dakotas and sometimes has the Canadian accent. Just watch Charlie Barron's. Charlie Barron's is so good. It's like, man, why you gotta put me in a box like that? Illegal immigrant. I mean, yeah, they only want a wall in the South. It's because there's no there's no river. There's no river. And no one ever talks about it with the UP. But there's bridges. 1800s, the Thames was so frozen over that they had street fairs and bonfires on it. Are you serious? I didn't know. I mean, I guess that must have been around the same time, I guess. Detroit River. Yeah, it used to be a big problem. Dickens era mini ice age. I feel like I should brush up on that part of history. And then we can throw our own little party on a barge. We can have a big old Dickens soiree on a barge in the middle of the Thames. The only wall that works is the Great Wall of China. A lot of people still died for that. 100%. Here, let me make sure I say very specifically, the wall is a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. Very common to have bonfires, fairs, and all sorts of things in the Thames, and it froze. That is so interesting to me. I mean, I feel like in Michigan, like in the north, there's just like so much happens on the ice once it gets thick enough. People are like riding snowmobiles on the ice, and I will never understand that. Like how I know, like after a while, you can probably just accept that it's safe and be cool doing it. But I could not imagine driving a vehicle over a body of water and just like expecting the ice to hold up. Boy, howdy, do I not dislike those. We know how the Berlin Wall went. Yep. Last time our Union Canal froze sometime. 20 miles of it in a Puget and sunk. No! Oh my gosh. Wisconsin and the UP. I mean, you mean to keep Wisconsin from claiming the UP? 100% farm. Every time the Badgers win a football game, they try to take the UP back. Never feel safe to me. Here in Wisconsin, they would drive cars across the lake. I still don't get that. Good for anyone who has the stones to do that. No, it's bad. Bad sets. Bad sets. Bad set, no biscuit. Oh. Boy, howdy. I'm moving slow today. Oh, you go. Wifey's out shopping. She's like, if you're gonna spend the day on the internet, I'm gonna go get some stuff for my craft projects. Hi, Evie. Kiss me, girl. And kiss.
My wife.
Oh. These babies can fit so many memories in them. Have a good time with Aaron's Fox. Oh, Moon, have a good time at the gym. See you later. Bye. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, I really got to wrap it up. All right. I was gonna do goblet squats and pull-ups. How's it going? It's going good, Paul. I'm running a little behind. Maybe I should just call it, you know? I've been going for what? 2 hours. I got the important stuff done. Johnny51, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Run Club. I tell you what, we'll do a little floor work. We'll do some quick floor work. And we'll call it a day. I'll change the routine up a little bit. Especially because I'm feeling pretty busted up. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little bite to eat, grab a shower, get Evie moving in between. Someone is sending me videos of rocks. Are they hard? Why did I say that? I'm so sorry. Picnic, how we doing? Welcome in. All right, we'll do a little bit of we're gonna do some serratus presses. We're not gonna do any bicep work. I did a lot of bicep work yesterday. No, it's okay. It's all good. Nick, oh, Evie, thank you for taking my spot. I appreciate the energy, my friend, and if I wanted to do it, I would do it. Cheers, I hope you're having a nice day. Please don't be pushy. Evie does not want me to get any of my workout done. All right, we'll just get started. There was videos of his cat. Oh, beautiful. That's better than rocks. Good, Evie. Yeah, we're just getting a workout in. Mouth be okay? Do some B-tucks. Since the little lady doesn't want to let me use the full mat. Oh. Chill for a moment. This cat, Clyde, is so cute. I don't have a cat. That's a doggo. Evie Protect. She's here. She's here. Actually, we'll leave the Evie cam up. I don't think she's going anywhere. Whenever I try to work out on a mat, she's all over that biz. She's like, this mine now, thank you. Thank you so much, Father. Cats are cute. Not particularly. We would love to have a cat, but Evie can't really handle having one. I think she's just a little too curious. All right. We'll work in some pull-ups next week. You know, it's funny, I did a lot of progressions on pull-ups, but then like have kind of regressed a little bit after doing this powerlifting program. Because when I'm not doing my own programming, I'm just not going to be working them in as much. Oh, bye. She gone. Said no, thank you. None of your belongings will ever be safe again. Curiosity killed the dog? Yeah. I'm legit afraid that she's gonna lose her eye if we get a cat. I think she'll like try to get a little too close. It'll take just like one bad interaction. Like, I don't think she wants to hurt the cat, but I don't think she's gonna do a great job of communicating to the cat that she doesn't want to hurt her. That's the feel. And it only takes one bad one. Oh. All right, let's do some strategic thinking here. We're gonna do one more set. So I guess like I will raid out today, but I am gonna be live again in. I'm gonna be live again in about an hour, 45 minutes actually. So we'll I'll raid out, but just so y'all know, I'll be back on soon. Unless I should just like leave the stream up. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, no, don't worry, I'm gonna eat. That was one of the reasons why I started as early as I did. Let's see here. Eric's having a big day. Gotta get a cat that's already used to dogs. Raid out and start fresh. All right. Cool. All right, let's do this last set. Not really feeling ready, but. Bye. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me for a little lift this morning. I really appreciate all of you. Thanks for putting up with the tech issues that we've had. If you would be so kind to grab one of these raid messages. Oh no. First one, if you're not a subscriber. Second one, if you are a subscriber. Thank you, Andy, for fixing it. The subscriber message gonna look a little bit like this one. I'm gonna be back 44 minutes from now for 7 Days to Die with Paul and Sam. Lily, thanks for hanging out. I saw you live. We're gonna give a quick shout to Paul and Sam. Make sure you're also following our friends here so you can catch their side of the stream. But yes, see y'all soon. I'm gonna grab a snack, get EP moving, and I'll be back on. Have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you, be kind to yourself, be kind to someone else. Do a little something that fills your tank. Let's go see Eric. Bye-bye.